Spectacle Island is one of, if not the largest settlement area you can get in the game. It is just off the southeastern coast near the Warwick homestead, as well as the wreck of the Northern FMS Star, which is that big ship over there. And this massive island is a wonder to behold. Got a little bit of clipping there thanks to TFC. Gotta love that. This is one of the best places I have found in Fallout 4 to get a large quantity of Mirelurk meat. And what's even more amazing with this, with the mods that I'm running, such as All Settlements Extended, this whole island build area will be increased, which means we may even be able to knock out some of these boats. Stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy the spectacular Spectacle Island. This particular section of the video is dedicated to newer players as well as more experienced players who may not know or have forgotten how to access the workbench on the top of this hill in this little shack. If you already know how to access the workbench, by all means feel free to use the timestamps in the description and skip to the designated point you desire. Let's take out the Mirelurk that is attacking us. Very good. And thanks to the Wasteland Survival Guide we picked up in a previous video, we get one extra Mirelurk softshell meat and one extra Mirelurk meat as well, yes. Very good book, always keep that on our person. Now, how you access the workbench. There will be a note here called Signal Checklist. I took the liberty of picking it up already, so we can read it together. It'll be in your miscellaneous section of your Pip-Boy, and when you open it, you'll find the step-by-step instructions as to how to use the workbench. Step 1, we want to make sure the wires are connected to the generator. Step 2, the generator must be on before turning on the signal tower. And step 3, well, when it's playing, you'll know. Pretty straightforward. Now, this is the signal tower. You do not want to turn this on first. If you do, you will have to reload a past save game, in my experience anyway, because in my games, I've done that a couple times, and it's blown out the system. So we'll just press F9 to do a quick save, and conveniently it shows us where the generator is. Looking at these trees, we see wires, and we can follow the wires to this tugboat where the generator is housed. Very awesome. I love having a pre-built generator here, even though we'll be adding more. Now, to our right inside the tugboat, there is a tool box with various loot, a used oil can, adjustable wrench, and a Fat Man. If you have mini nukes, feel free to pick up the Fat Man, because when we turn on the generator, a Nuka Queen will attack us. There she is. And we got Mirelurks as well. Look at this. We're gonna get a lot of Mirelurk meat. I love it. Thank you, Wasteland Survival Guide. Beautiful. When you have dispatched the Mirelurks and picked up the Mirelurk meat that you desire, also pick up the Queen Mirelurk meat. It is very good. We'll get into that later. We can now head back up to the tower, and we can turn on the generator. This will create a feedback noise that basically scares or irritates or harms all Mirelurks, and they just run away. We activate the circuit breaker like so. And this Mirelurk hears it and runs away. Look at him go. And there goes a glowing hunter as well. He's running away. They're all running away. Alright. After we enjoy the sight of fleeing Mirelurks, we can now come back up here. We see the light is on, and that tells us that it is working. Here's where we activate the workshop. Excuse me. We can activate the workshop, and the scrapping can begin. Welcome to the scrapping portion of Spectacle Island, where we do a spectacular cleanup of Spectacle Island. I am your host, Diamond Dave, and I appreciate you guys sticking with me through the intro, as well as the how-to session of this video. I hope you guys are going to enjoy the beautiful island we're going to turn this into by getting rid of pretty much everything we possibly can, so it can be nice and flat and prepared for our building. We're gonna make our way down to the water here, and there's a lot of garbage. There's seaweed all over the place and barnacles. There's tons of barnacles. What were the developers thinking? This is wild. Spectacle Island is a lovely place to get a ton of concrete, so if you concrete lovers are out there, I know I'm one of them. This is going to be a go-to place, not just for its size, but for the amount of resources you can get right off the bat. We'll get rid of all these hedges, all the shrubberies. We're going to make this nice and clean. We're going to find a fishing rod. And this video is going to be a doozy. So feel free to bounce around or skip ahead to the before and after. That's going to be in the timestamp section in the description below, if you just want to see how it turns out. Either way, I'm just glad you guys are here. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification button so you can see when my videos come out. And I hope you enjoy Spectacle Island as much as I do. I've been hyping this up for a while, right? I've mentioned it. I'm excited. This is going to be really relaxing. We're just kind of going to power through all this. Look at all this like concrete and wood we're gonna get. Even scrap stuff underwater if you so desire, just to get additional concrete. Get rid of the floating barnacles. And this hedge doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. Yes, it does. We'll make it cooperate. Alright, we got some floating barnacles here. We'll get rid of these, just because we destroyed the rocks. Now the barnacles are going to be wonderful. The barnacles, like the seaweed, will give us fertilizer with the scrap everything mod, so that means we're going to get one heck of a farm setup going. Make sure we just don't leave any floating barnacles around. That's really the bane of my existence in Spectacle Island, is the barnacles. Normally it's vines, but today it's going to be barnacles. And it's kind of a fun word to say, so we're just going to take it all out on the barnacle. Now, getting rid of the seaweed is my personal preference, just because it adds a cleaner feel to the water. I'm getting a lot of stuff here. Well, let's get rid of this bad boy. Excellent. And this area is home to a dead settler. We're going to scrap him and get some bones and fertilizer. Sorry, buddy, but, you know, you're not really doing anybody any favors by sitting there, so. We're going to leave this here for now and use console commands to get rid of the safe. And we're going to actually try the trick that I mentioned earlier. We exit and re-enter. There we go. We're able to get the barnacles. Barnacles, barnacles, barnacles. Let's see if we can get this safe now. Shack outer corner. Okay. Console commands it shall be for the safe. That is fine with me. Get rid of the trash in the water. We don't want to be drinking that at all. And this boat is gonna be a bit of a challenge. I've used scrap everything before on the boat, and I had some difficulties. So when we get over here, we're just gonna do a quick save and use the top-down method. Oh, there's a couple mirelurks here. We can just scrap the mirelurks, because nobody really cares about them anymore. Yeah, when you activate the sound emitter, they all flee to the edge of the island. So that's good in some ways, bad in some others, unless you just want to scrap them. Alternatively, you can take them out if you need the Mirelurk meat. Use it at a cooking station, and you can make some nukas, not nuka, you can make some Mirelurk steaks. Very good, very delicious, and very nutritious. Getting rid of the radioactive nuclear barrels, that'll be our nuclear material. And we'll get rid of the floating plank. And I think this is where we're gonna do a quick F9 to save. And we'll just enter back into the thing by holding V for PC players. There we go. Alright, we'll get rid of the settler. Now, not all of this stuff can be scrapped without console commands, if I remember correctly. Really, the challenge is getting up here, which I think... There's a lot of burnt mannequins in here. It's kind of creepy. I don't know why these are here. But it's a good source of plastic, so we'll get that. We are knocking around a mannequin for some reason. Alright, so let's get all of this stuff down just so we can get some wood and build some stairs up on this massive boat. Just because this is gonna be... Build one of these. And place everywhere. We should be able to place it everywhere. Somewhere, in theory. Alright, nothing here. Clean up the trash. The debris and the crates. Tons of steel. And jump up this. See if we can do it, guys. Not high enough, I'm afraid. Alright, let's get these barrels out of here. Doesn't look like... there's gonna be anything on top that'll float. So we could just step outside, smash the crate down. There's some oven mitts here on top for some reason. And I think we're going to try a slightly different strategy to get up there. We're just going to come on the ground and we're going to build a stairway to heaven, which this is really ridiculous. But we get here in the end. Alright. Bada bing. Bada boom. Crates are slowly going away, guys. Look at this. Get the wooden crates. We'll get a nice amount of wood from this. And the build size. Look at the build size. We're like out in the ocean at this point. All settlements extended is the mod. I'll be adding that in the description below. For those of you who want to have this wild setup. There's a bunch of safes back here. When you scrap them, the contents will go into the workbench, so we don't have to worry about that. We just want the steel. We just want the steel. Just want the steel. And we'll get all the debris and trash, so that way it doesn't float. Top-down method's the best way to go. There's Mirelurk King running around over there. We'll deal with him momentarily. Is there anything else up top that could possibly float? Nope. Perfect. So far, so good. Just the clickety-clack of the keys. Now, one thing to keep in mind with Spectacle Island is it is a large island, even in the base game. So this gives even newer players an opportunity to test their creative building skills, as well as practice different building ideas. This is where I've come to frequently to learn, and I encourage you to come here because with just the sheer amount of available resources, along with the size, it is wonderful. And just look at this gorgeous view of the bay into the ocean. I love it. What is that? That's a skeleton that just fell out of a crate. That's eerie. Get rid of that since we don't need you anymore. And no floating garbage. We love it. We love to see it. Flawless. Just gonna dismember this boat a little bit more. And this is where we have to be careful because we don't want to scrap the barge in of itself, at least not until we get rid of all the debris. Otherwise, it will be a nightmare to get rid of. So just very carefully take your time. Make sure everything is angled properly. And scrap away. We'll even get rid of the garbage around the boat, the barge, the ship. More barnacles. Barnacles and seaweed. And trash. Alright. So this is a nice clean barge. You know what? I may actually leave this here. I'm thinking it could be a little fun shop area. You know, this could be a really nice place to put a shop or shopkeepers or something. Just because even though it is at an angle, it's still semi-stable. And with all the wood too, we can make some nifty little houses. We just scrapped a first aid kit, which is fine. The contents are gonna go directly into the workbench. 3 crates and the like. Looks like we got a spectator. That Mirelord King's still just chilling over there. It's fine, we'll get rid of him momentarily, like I mentioned before. I really want to do something with this, I just don't know what yet. Seaweed off the barge, please, and away from the barge as much as possible. Alright, we can come down here. Knock out the seaweed and even the barnacles. And there's radioactive barrels somewhere. Now, you do want to be careful when you're in the water. You don't, you really don't want to drown. You can drown. I just don't know where the rads are coming from. Oh, there you are. There's some barrels, guys. All these barnacles. Goodness gracious. We'll get at least some of this taken out here, but I do want to actually work on the island proper as well. Otherwise, we're going to be, like, scrapping barnacles all day, and that's not terribly exciting for me. Oh, jeez, look at all these barnacles. Okay, we have to do this. I was not expecting this many barnacles, you guys. I do apologize for this section. Like I said, feel free to skip ahead if you like. This is wild. Look at all these little guys just chilling here. We are racking up stupid amounts of fertilizer though, so it's not all terrible. with the last barnacles out of the way, we'll turn around. We'll get this stuff later. We'll just head back to the island proper at this point, and go back to doing what we do, and that's just cleaning up the general area around the water. We'll just knock out whatever's in arm's reach. And I'm gonna actually come back and take down my stairway to heaven here. That looks a little weird. Alright, the barge is there, the safe is there. Get some of these rocks out of the way. Just store these for the time being because I'm gonna need them eventually. So many barnacles, so little time. Alright. I'll do the fine-tuning later. Get anything that's obviously floating, and then we'll just finish the rest later. Coming back to the island now, we will take out the rocks, the trees, and I'm going to do a quick save at this point, because in the intro, there was a clipping situation using the free cam, and so I'm a little bit concerned that with doing some parts of this region, that we may end up doing damage to the environment, which we don't want to do. Now this here is a house area, which we can clean up or we can scrap and rebuild. I might refurbish it. That's probably going to be the best option here. So we'll leave... This can be a Brahmin pen, so we'll leave this here just to refurbish it at a later point. Get that shrubbery, and that's a bathtub. We'll put a Brahmin trough in there. We'll make our way to this little section, and this could be a really fun place to build. Could be a super fun place to build. We're gonna carefully remove the dead settlers. There's a swing here we'll take out. I don't see a point of this tree being here at all. We'll exit and we'll re-enter. Knock out the shrubs. Dead tree cluster's gone. Knock all this out for concrete. Oh, we got a little bit of a clipping thing. We can fix that. That's not terribly noticeable. Usually, we won't come this far back. Let's just check out these areas quick, see if there's anything we need to tidy up. Get rid of the pile of leaves. This is fine. This little section we can actually leave. Alright, this part's good. We'll leave it as is. Coming up into the house itself, we're just going to carefully remove the exterior items, like so. Alright. And we'll get rid of all this noise. I'm not a fan of this building wall being like this personally. Just more debris that we have to deal with. Oh, there's a mini nuke. We can store that in the shop. That would have been useful against the Mirelurk. Here we go. Alright, this area is, for the most part, good. Or at least as good as we can get it. We may, just because the foundation is unstable, we may have to do some shenanigans when it comes to the building process. But that is a problem for future. That is a problem for future me. Scrap the bed and the hanging debris. Make our way over here. There we go. Okay, bada bing, bada boom. This is at least clean-ish. And checking out this little area, this might be part of the farm section. Might be nice to have a farmhouse kind of off to the distance where it can be a designated zone, because that's personally how I like to do it. Now, it's your game. I encourage everyone to play and structure their settlements as they seem, as they deem fit. For me, I like things to be organized and just kind of straightforward, so that way the average settler can walk around without too many problems. And we'll step in here. Debris off the floor. It's a chemistry shop too. Okay. Thinking, well, other than the garbage on the floor, I'm thinking this is kind of nice as is. Alternatively, we could turn this section into a player home. This is definitely going to be an ongoing series, ladies and gentlemen. You see how long it takes to scrap this island, and I want to say we're approximately halfway done. Approximately. I'm going to leave a lot of the ships and things like that for the time being. I will say be careful when scrapping these dunes, just for the fact that there will be clipping problems. Been there, done that. I do not recommend it at all. Now, cutting along the right side of where we initially were, looks like we're having a little bit of lock-on problems once again. We just activate this. Deactivate, reactivate, best way to go. And using the top-down method, we will we'll take out this area. And we will knock out the tents. I highly advise, ladies and gentlemen, that when you get to the center, keep a tab on which trees you are scrapping. Otherwise, you will have floating wires, which you can work with. But if I were to scrap this tree, then there'd be some problems. So we'll just carefully move our way around. And we're gonna have to do this in a semi-orderly fashion, because I am working on a very large canvas. Very large canvas. Finish all this quick. It's not... Oh, we scrapped Randy. Randy has a note that explains a little bit of the backstory of this island, and moreover, why it is the way it is, and why Mirelurks overran it in the first place. So feel free to check out his corpse if you so desire. This I'm going to leave for the time being because it's not super important to what we're doing. Again, this is more of an environmental scrap session. We will do some scrapping as we build. And there's a lot of stuff here that's not overly relevant. To the beauty of the island. This... Okay, if I do this right. Okay, that's good. Knocking out the brambles and continuing on our course, we are doing splendidly. There's no reason for water to be there, so we'll just remove the water and the stone walls. Excellent. Now I'm just gonna do... Okay, so that's like that. Let's get this stump out of the way. These are good to scrap. That's... So this, yeah, that's all one thing. And then that's one tree cluster, yes. Okay. We're making good time for the size of this location. And that's one of the beautiful things about Fallout, the diversity of areas and settlement sizes. I really enjoy just how much time and effort the developers have put into just the entirety of the settlement building process. Although, yes, there could be some changes that need to be made. Personally, even in the base game, I really enjoy it. It allows me to bring out my creative side, and I find this to be relaxing. Perfect. Look at this. This is all clean. Look at all this, guys. The progress we have made. And we just want to be careful that we don't run into any either clipping or gap issues in the environment. This is going to be probably the biggest build outside of Far Harbor that I have done in quite some time. Alright. Now we do have additional things we can scrap. A later point. Oh, these are important. Hey, come back here. Come back here. Come back here. Goodbye. But when it comes to the building, we are pretty much almost done. just knock this out a little bit more. We got Mirelurks running around still that we can take care of. I'll be honest, I'm at a loss of like how much wood stuff I can build right now and how many farm plots I can build. Just the sheer amount of fertilizer from the barnacles and from the Mirelurk bodies that we took out. Alright, looking at this island, we are almost done, guys. Look at this. Look at this. This is amazing. This is amazing. I'm definitely going to be asking in the comments what I should build here, because I am overwhelmed with the amount of ideas. And I know I can count on my beloved viewers and listeners to give me quality ideas. Let's knock out these board blossoms. Now, I do remember, we'll do one final quick save. I do remember this little segment being problematic, and I can't remember why. It's been a while. But I know that something here is amiss, so we'll just do a quick save. And we'll start with the surrounding areas, just to make things easier to lock onto. We'll scrap this settler. Sorry, buddy. Now, is it... Oh, it's this locker. Yep. It's the locker. I knew it. Alright, we'll scrap everything around the locker that we can without it being floating. This, we'll scrap a dead trader here. And, yeah, we're going to use console commands to make that... We'll make that go away. How about that? We'll make that go away. Do a quick just eyeball once over, but I think when it comes to the build section, we're pretty much almost done. I'm gonna get rid of these fences quick, and brambles. Yeah, we don't necessarily need a fence here because we can just build walkways. We'll come back here. Bada bing, bada boom. I think we'll leave... I might swim around and knock out those boats, but I think we'll leave them there for the time being. I might leave them there permanently, just to, just as a reminder of how dangerous the Fallout universe really is, and to remind the settlers that stay here that the ocean is beautiful, but there are dangers that lurk in it. And with this, we'll take out the roots. Everything looks good. Awesome. Knock out those roots. And I think we'll wrap this up here. One of my slightly longer videos, which I thank you all for taking the time to watch. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification button. And if you didn't like what you see, hey, you know what? I'm just glad you're here. I hope you guys can find something out of this video and all my other videos that you enjoy. And I wish you all a wonderful day. See you next time.